for most of this game. Just how did you feel about that aspect coming through for you guys and giving yourselves a chance here in a really tough environment on the road?
Yeah, I know I sounded crazy after Game 5 because we had 92 points, and I was very optimistic about our attacks, but that's what I was talking about. I thought our attacks in Game 5 were good. We obviously didn't complete the plays that we did tonight. I thought our attacks again tonight were good. We forced them to zone us. We forced them kind of to plan B, and so we put a lot of pressure on them with our offense tonight and made a lot of progress there.
Mark, the foul on Shea, just what did you make of the ruling at the end?
I don't have as good of a replay as there was on TV, so, I just, he got ball, and then obviously got arm as well. I thought he might have gotten the ball first. And just in that situation, even without leaving myself a timeout, I thought any chance that we could take points off the board and reverse that call would be worth the risk. So that's why I went and got it.
You went double big late, kind of with the season on the line. I guess what motivated you to do that?
Trying to help out on the glass specifically. I just thought, even not just on the glass, they were finding the bigs on some of the dump downs, and just trying to get more like cumulative size on the floor. And then at the end of the game, the defenses tighten up anyways, and so offensively, I knew we'd be able to get some decent looks regardless of lineup. So it was kind of a defense and physicality decision.
I know that it's kind of too early to take 2 steps back and look at, as you look towards the future, but do you feel like that, is something that maybe the roster kind of needs beef?
No, I'm not going to make commentary on the roster. I mean, clearly our roster was good enough this year to win a lot of games and be the 1 seed in a really tough conference. And we had everything we needed. Obviously, tonight and in this series, they were better. But I wouldn't look at that as an indictment on anything other than, it's painful, obviously. We thought we had the chance to accomplish something special, but, we can turn this pain into growth and use this as an investment as we continue to move forward.
Are you just satisfied with the way you guys force, players like Derrick Jones and P.J. Washington to just beat you over the course of the series?
Yeah, I think, that's why they're here, is they have a good team. They have players that put a lot of pressure on you. We have respect for those players, obviously, but we just thought in the series, forcing Doncic and Irving into crowds and forcing other guys to have to make plays was the best course. And I thought we executed that. I thought defensively we played a series that was worthy of winning it. I thought in games 2 through 4, offensively, that's where we struggled, but I thought the team did a really good job. I mean, you have to grow inside these series, because the other team is, stress testing you and vice versa. And I thought our guys did a really, really good job within the series of making the necessary adjustments to how we needed to attack, and obviously made progress on that end of the floor in games 5 and 6, but it just wasn't enough.
Mark, Shea was tremendous all night. Obviously, the lasting moment kind of ending in a cruel way with that foul. But how do you just kind of put his night in perspective and what he did for you guys this series?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he's a big-time player that hasn't gotten to prove that on this stage yet, and I thought that was loud and clear over the course of the postseason. And then tonight, I thought he played very well. Obviously got to his spots. I thought the pace of the offense really helped him out, helped the whole team out. He made big shots. The 3 he hit to cut into the lead late was a big-time shot. And found his teammates again. I mentioned that the last time we were in this room at the end of Game 4. He found guys, and they hit. Tonight, he trusted those plays throughout the night. So obviously nothing but positive things to say.
Sorry. Even in the loss, were you impressed by how you guys were able to sort of sustain throughout their repeated runs and crowd got into it and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've done that all year. This is kind of, you don't accomplish, what we accomplished. I mean, we didn't accomplish everything, obviously, but you don't accomplish what we accomplished without tremendous resilience and the ability to throw punches with our talent and with the way we play, and then take punches. And tonight we had to take a lot of punches, and we did, and gave ourselves. I mean, we took a lead into the last 20 seconds of that game.
You mentioned taking points off the board with that challenge. How close were you to not challenging it, considering if it's not overturned, you only have 2.5 seconds left to go the full length of the court?
Yeah, I mean, if it was like a clear as day foul. I obviously wouldn't have challenged it and held the timeout. But I just think, again, in that situation with even if you advance the ball with 2.5 seconds at a deficit, your chances of scoring are very low. And so given that probability and then the probability of the challenge in that situation, protecting a lead, I thought it was too tempting not to get. If there was any chance that we could have wiped that off, I thought it was worth it.
The Chet and Lou both have 5 fouls. Just continuing to trust them. What did you think about the way, despite the loss, the way that they were able to not pick up their 6th foul?
Yeah, they continue to compete. We've done that all year. These guys understand the philosophy there. They understand they have to keep competing. I thought those guys did. We were able to squeeze all the minutes out of the game for those guys, and they played well when they were out there.
You mentioned kind of maybe losing this series offensively in kind of the middle part, but, learning through it. What do you feel like, are the offensive lessons that you learned in this series?
It's just like different attacks, and there's only so many ways you can get played. There's not a million ways that you can get played. There's a limited number of them, and we've seen them all this year. And as time goes on, you get more and more comfortable attacking them. And obviously in a playoff series, they all get thrown at you. Whatever vulnerabilities you have, the other team's going to try to expose. And we tried to do that to Dallas and New Orleans. They try to do it to us. And that's how you learn, as a team. It's painful, obviously, to lose a series. But that's how you learn as a team, is you go through these things. And you've seen it now. We go back. We start to develop those attacks. The players have a better understanding. We, as a coaching staff, have a better understanding. And then as you see them more and more, you solve the problems quicker. And I think if you look at the teams that have had long runs of success and a lot of continuity, they're really hard to trick, and that's a process, and we have to, embark on that process.
I know it's a minor thing in hindsight, but what went into the changing up Shea's substitution pattern there in that first?
Just trying to maximize his minutes. They had kind of loaded the start of the second quarter. They actually changed tonight too, so they didn't do what we were anticipating. But they had put Doncic and Irving in to start the second with a pretty potent lineup, and just the idea of getting him out there during that time so we can continue to have a guy that can really move the scoreboard. That was the idea.
Mark, you mentioned lessons. Just as far as this team, you've been with all of them.